السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، يعطيكم العافية. الثامن، طمنوني عنكم، شو الأخبار؟ أنا بعتذر إلي فترة ما سجلت. اليوم رح أقرأ عدة فقرات في الوحدة الثانية أو الثالثة، الوحدة الثالثة. يس. Okay. Making documentaries. We are spending a day with the explorer William Savage, who is living in Ethiopia, to make a TV program about different tribes. Why are you in Ethiopia? What are you doing here? I like to see places that people usually don't visit. My job is to show people back home in England what life is like for other people around the world. I am staying with the Nyangatam tribe, and their lives are very different from mine in London. What is life like? What is life with the Nyangatam like? Life can be very challenging for the Nyangatam. Their land is dry like a desert, and there is very little water in most places. The people work very hard. أنا هون. Okay. To take care of their cattle and to make sure they have enough water and food to survive. The Nyangatam are tough because they don't have hospitals and only use herbs and plants for medicine. Patients learn to become very strong, and people take care of each other. For example, medicine, men will bring traditional treatments, neighbors will give food, and children will sing songs. We could all learn a lot from the Nyangatam. How long do you stay in one place? It depends. I once spent a year in the Arctic. I'll be with the Nyangatam for just 1 month before I moved on to live with another Ethiopian tribe. I'm still planning many things. What made you become an explorer? I love to understand different cultures, their language, and their lifestyle. And lifestyles, there is a whole world full of people out there to learn about. تمام. الفقرة الثانية اللي رح نقرأ عنها فقرة writing from around the world. People started writing thousands of years ago. At first, they wrote records of local trade. This kind of writing wasn't for entertaining an audience in the way stories and poems are. People told stories and poems for entertainment around the world before writing existed. Africa has a long history of storytelling. The most famous African stories are about little animals that use their intelligence to survive against bigger animals. These stories were told from person to person before written copies were ever made. Writing was used to tell stories across the Middle East before it was used anywhere else in the world. Some of the earliest pieces of literature come from the Middle East. These stories traveled around the world because the writers' skills were so impressive. Reading stories from around the world helped writers to develop their skills and learning from each other over the centuries. Many people believe that reading stories from different times and places is a way of understanding and appreciating the variety that exists between cultures. تمام. الفقرة الثالثة اللي رح أقرأها هي فقرة عراري. رح أقرأها من هون عشان الإجابات مجاوبة واختصارا كلمات موجودة، هي هاي نفسها. An exceptional poet. Poetry and writing are two important parts of Jordan's culture. Arar is one of Jordan's most admired poets. He was born in Irbid in 1899. His life was exceptional because of the way he expressed his patriotism. Arar's poetry was also distinctive. He used the language of the people to discuss their concerns, but also include classical Arabic sayings. Among his achievements are famous poets like Sorrow of Youth and Wish of the Wisher, which are still loved by many people. Arar also practiced law and supported the people. He died in 1949, but continues to be remembered today. Irbid has an annual poetry festival with a prize named after him. Many Jordanian and Arab poets compete to win the Arar Literary Award. بهيك أنا بكون انهيت الثلاث قطع قراءة فقط عشان إذا كان في اختبارات للقراءة هاي الفترة. مشكورين، بتمنى لكم التوفيق دايما. اعملوا لايك للفيديو، وإذا أنتم مش مشتركين في القناة يا ريت تدعموني وتشتركوا في القناة. مشكورين.